Let's start this thing. Woo!
All right, welcome back, everybody. A couple days ago, our pod dropped. So if you have not listened to our pod on Anchorman, go back and listen to it. Leave some comments on social media. Click and subscribe. We're about ready to start our draft portion of the pod. And the topic was most memorable Will Ferrell characters in a movie. Zach?
That's for you, Zach.
Zach?
I literally on the text thread, first question couldn't have been more predictable. So, like, is this only movie characters, or could we do some of his TV
Zach,
roles?
He 100% copy and pasted that reply from 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, he just has that. He has that saved in his notes, so he can just copy paste anytime that comes up.
Right under watch, note to self, watch Hoosiers.
I feel like it opens up a lot of ways you can go once you take it out of the movie realm.
I agree. I mean, this was the only time I've been like, God damn it, I wish I could have Ashley Schaefer BMW on this list. I need him on there.
We should do a sketch comedy podcast where we only talk about sketch comedy characters.
Feel it in my plums.
Nick and I are laughing because we have a playoff baseball game on the TV, and we both are afraid we're going to ruin the pod while
If they sound extremely distracted and are ruining the pod, it's because there's a baseball game.
Yeah, that's what's going on
I
here.
think a great time to host.
But hey, I have a draft order for you guys. How about that? You want to hear about it?
I'd love to hear that.
How was it created?
How was it generated?
Today I got out my old speak and spell, and I plugged in the names, and it went peek, 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 and it said number 1, Nate. Number 2, Brad.
Oh, what?
Number 3, Nick. Number 4, Zach.
See, I like that position, though. I like that position.
Zach on the rap.
Because I mean, if I'm going fourth, then that means there's only going to be one more movie after I pick that I've seen.
Well, I don't think Nate's even prepared, but we'll see if he's got something going.
So I actually genuinely hate this slot. Like I think
The number 1?
yeah, because it's like there's so many arguable number ones here that I can't pick without just being wrong.
Brad said it best last time. You either get 2 top 5s or the number 1 and the number 8, right? Something like that.
And Nate just doesn't want to be the guy that picks the guy from the movie we're watching. I think that's his problem right now.
See, to be honest, that's not my favorite. That's maybe that's part of it. Is other people are going to say that it's Ron Burgundy, but I don't think that's it.
I know what Nate's favorite, what his actual favorite is, but he's hesitant to pick it because he knows it'll lose the
Please
draft.
God,
for him.
pick it.
Lose the draft.
He's
man.
positive that when he takes,
Speaking of, who won last week?
I can't remember.
I
It was so long ago.
forgot. I was.
You guys have short memories.
So I think it was declared a no win.
If I know anything about our,
I think I have 4 wins. So catch up, y'all.
I'm pretty sure that some of those are contested.
Everyone. Contested.
I think all of our dubs are contested and still running through the courts.
Still pending.
All right.
Nate's still.
Nate's doing
I
a
just
lot
can't
of frantic
decide.
scrolling
I
right
can't
now.
decide.
Nate's been on the clock.
Okay, I'm going to reverse course. I'm going to totally change what I just said.
Totally.
I'm going to totally change it. You chode jugglers. That's a league reference.
The fucking listeners are just on the edge of
Still
their
waiting.
seats right
I'm
now.
going to take Anchorman. I'm going to take Ron Burgundy. I didn't want to do it, but I do realize that's what I have to do.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
We just did a podcast about that movie on Tuesday.
And no one did that quote the whole time.
Oh, man.
It's a good one.
Amazing.
I don't know.
All right, well, you don't get to change it. You picked it up.
I don't feel good about this.
That's where you are. Oh, man. This is interesting because I feel like this is a chance that this loses the draft for me. There's a chance that it just like locks it up right now. I'm going to go ahead and go with probably Will Ferrell's most famous role, which is Buddy the Elf.
See, I debated
From
that
Elf.
one. Do you think that is his most famous?
I think it is most widely known just because it's a Christmas classic that I think everybody watches around Christmas time, including kids, children. I don't think you're showing your 4-year-olds old school very often.
You don't know me at all.
I'll say this.
Charlie's already well versed.
Charlie constantly says cock, shit, fuck, balls. And I'm like, Charlie, you don't have to celebrate it. I don't know. It's just one of our routines.
It reminds me of when Matt on the other pod was asking what he could say, and he's like, "Nipple suck."
He had a whole little phrase. It was a little like rhyming little phrase. It was kind of had
said
a
cock balls.
gobble sucking involved.
I said cog balls, and Nate was right there with his
yeah.
Like, don't celebrate it.
Don't celebrate it, Nick.
All right, Nick, you got pick 3.
So let me just quickly on Elf. So I love Elf so much. Zoe Deschanel, it's great, but we try to show it to my kids every year, and every year they're like, this movie is not funny. It's long. Nothing really. They don't like it at all. No action. No animated characters. I don't know what they want.
So I want to piggyback on that and say, like, I like the movie Elf, and I don't think that Will Ferrell is. I think, like, given how much I like Elf and given how much I like Will Ferrell, I should like Elf more because of Will Ferrell than I do.
You like it because Zoe, right?
Yeah, I love her singing. I like I think it's like there's a lot of scenes that are fun, and there's some good physical comedy from Will Ferrell. But like what he does best for me is not here. He's just, I don't love the like innocent but funny Will Ferrell.
But I mean, okay, so I see what you're saying, but it's a genuinely great family Christmas movie. And I mean, that's what you got to take away from it. And, and
I'm
he's
not discounting your
in the role.
pick.
I cannot imagine anybody else in that role that would do
Agreed.
as well.
Like Channing Tatum or something. No?
He'd probably be great. He'd probably be great. He's just like shirtless the whole time.
Abs. All right, Zachy.
I don't think Zoe would have kicked him out of the shower in that one. I don't think
it's
she would
not
have been
my
like, "Get out of here."
Wait, is it Nick?
It's
It is
Nick's
Nick.
pick.
It's
Nick's super in debt. I don't know.
I'm going Frank the Tank.
that's-
Let's go streaking through the
You
gymnasium.
son
through the
of a
quad, through the
bitch.
gymnasium.
That's his
KFC
best.
open.
So that's my favorite role, and I don't think it's the most memorable, but it's my favorite.
That's where it all started, yo.
At least once a week, I say, I don't think I have time. You know, going to Home Depot, Bed Bath and Beyond. I mean, some version of that.
When it hits your lips,
It's just so
it
good.
tastes so good.
Fill it up again. I scream, fill it up again, probably at my children once or twice a week. I mean, there's so little and so much in that movie.
All
This is
right,
terrible.
Zach,
Zacklesby.
you're in a great spot here. I
Yeah,
actually
this
envy
is,
where you're at.
This
right
is
now.
actually the spot I want.
Okay. So my first pick is going to have to be Jackie Moon from Semi Pro.
Ooh, okay.
God, dude. I was just listening to Love Me Sexy. I was ready to.
And this is where it gets interesting because I feel like I
Suck
have
my dick. I'll murder your
I was just
family.
gonna- so I actually didn't know that well until there was an
Suck
incident.
my
and
cock.
There was
Murder your family.
There was an incident in a men's B basketball league, and these fucking guys started sending me that GIF over
the
and over
morning
again.
after
And I was
sent
like,
it
"What
to
is it?
Nate.
What is this?" And then I rewatched Semi Pro, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty much."
there was a serious incident inside of a church.
Well, actually, it was. I forgot it was inside of a church.
next to a church.
A guy got elbowed in the face, and
All hell, bro.
someone on the podcast told someone that they were going to put them in the ground very aggressively while pointing a finger
I mean,
and running full speed.
that sounds like assault, so I probably wouldn't have said that.
You're not the person I'm talking about.
No way.
Number 2, Zach. Who are you gonna go?
Okay. This is so I know who I want, but I'm not going for it.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go with one of his funniest characters, in my opinion, which is Mugatu from Zoolander.
I don't want to.
Thanks, Zach. No, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going.
I know exactly who you think.
I just feel like that was a double reach. It was like he reached and then he reached again, and he's like, "How
He
far
reached-
can I reach?"
As
have a
much as I
list of my
said,
guys.
I envy your position in the 4 and the 5.
Yeah,
I
I'm just
feel like
helping
you
you guys
totally fucked up.
Helping you guys out. You'll see.
We do
Both great
appreciate it.
characters, though. But
You'll see.
They're great characters. They're just
Nick, back to you, my friend.
Okay. All right. Well, it's down to 2 very popular characters.
I gotta think I know who these are.
You gonna pick Alex Trebek?
Hot tub.
All right.
Nick is just he's
just going through it right
He's sweating right now.
we're gonna have to put him-
pacing the floor.
We're gonna have to get the fucking hourglass and start
Yeah.
flipping
We
sand
might need a
on
little
this
timer
dude,
here.
'cause
He's like,
You need to call me Nighthawk. Brennan Huff, Step Brothers.
that's
I smoked pot with Johnny Hopkins.
I know I'm wrong.
You guys thought I was going
You
to
don't
pick
know
that.
Johnny.
That's not my favorite character. Bradford.
I mean, I thought there was no chance.
Yeah. Well,
No chance
I
that
already
he was
know.
following
We
through.
just- let's just move
and it
along.
just made me happy. The only problem I have with this
say
movie
some
is that
quotes.
my brother, who's grew up kind of a big NASCAR fan, he hates this movie, which makes zero sense to me. But I'm taking Ricky Bobby.
Yep.
Shake and bake. Shake and bake.
Your 12-pound, 8-ounce baby Jesus.
12-pound, 8-ounce.
Oh, okay. Well, so now we're getting into the deeper rounds here, and
It's fun. This is where it gets
this is
real.
where it's fun. So I think my second pick here is for me an easy one.
Can I say that you thought about picking this, your pick that you're getting at the
100%.
8th pick with the first pick?
100%. Chet from Wedding Crashers.
It's Chaz.
Oh, Chaz. Chaz.
That should be
Well, that's not the guy I was
automatic
talking about.
Chaz.
God.
Meatloaf. Mom, meatloaf. I fucking love it, dude.
Good old Chet.
Idiot.
Good old
Idiot.
Chet.
More for us. More
His
for you
pelvic
and me.
thrusts at the actual funeral are just so disgustingly
God,
vile
dude.
and sick, but hilarious at
What
the
is
same
she
time.
doing? What is she doing?
I don't know what she
back there?
does back there. Dude, it's so funny. I think our,
You almost got nunchucked. You don't even know.
I don't even know. This chick comes downstairs. It's just like scorching hot, and you're just like, she's all about it.
He's got it.
Yeah, so that's my first one. The second one, I gotta really think hard here if I want to dip deep. So I'm gonna do it, and if the judge doesn't like it, I'm gonna tell him to his face that he can suck it. So, I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna mess the name up again here. No, I'm not. Harold Crick,
So I thought that's who you were going to go with your number
Stranger
one.
Than Fiction. No, I mean
You've told me so many times that's
so-
like one of your favorite movies.
it's not my favorites, but it's a super underrated movie, and it's an underrated Will Ferrell role, and it's a totally different one. But he's great in it, and I'm a sucker for Maggie Gyllenhaal. Like that, she just for whatever reason there's
Wow,
that.
really?
Yeah, I mean I don't even mean that in like
Interesting.
in particularly like she's just so hot way. I just like she has something about her that like I like the character she plays. I like the way she acts. She's like super charismatic for some reason.
Manic Pixie Dream Girl, bro.
You know, I'm sucked in. So anyway, that's I defend that pick to the death.
Well, that's nice because, again, you guys are just leaving me all these outstanding characters.
Where are you gonna go now, dude?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I'm going with probably, if you've seen it, you love it. And in just the fact that there's probably just some people who haven't seen it. I'm going with Federal Wildlife Marshal Will and Holly from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Just a
He plays
classic.
both?
I don't think anyone has seen that.
You don't think anyone's ever seen that?
No, have any of you seen that?
Yes.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike
Yeah.
Back?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No.
And I like James.
For
When he's
real?
when he's falling.
No, I've
when
never
he's
seen
falling. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, when he has when Jay and Silent Bob bring the ape out of the diner. Oh my Lord, it's a mess, absolute mess. And when he gets in the gunfight, and he's just like running and like screaming, "Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!" He's like blasting out. Good stuff, and it's a great character. And if the judge has seen it, I think I've got this one as a lock, y'all.
I think that's a YouTube assist all the way.
Yeah, it's YouTube assist.
Oh my gosh.
Nick, all right, everybody, drink breaks. Nick's on the clock. Yeah, you guys, listeners, you can go take a piss now. Long one too. And we'll be
When you
back.
come back, you know there we'll have made a quality pick on the board.
There will have
You
been a
can
quality pick
count on
made
that.
in your absence.
Right after your quality dump that you just took while you're waiting. I'm going.
Quality BM.
I hope this one goes to me. Don't take it.
God damn it. All right. So
So much pressure.
Alan Gamble.
Don't worry, I'm going to edit this, and it's going to sound like you
Also-
thought for like 2 seconds.
also-
Don't worry about it.
the hardcore gangbanger, also known as Gator,
Ow.
and the other guys, because Gator never played like that. Gator never know, never know none of that shit.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's like the alter ego.
That's his alter ego.
That's a good pick.
Oh, that is a good pick.
Pimp,
That's sneaky.
gangster.
Good. That's sneak. That is, and that bit is so funny in that movie.
It
That's
ain't never been about that.
What's Alan's last name in that one?
Gamble,
oh man, that's so funny.
Gator.
That's not a bad pick.
So I've got my last 2 picks here.
Unveil them.
We're going to go with one of my kids' favorites. I'm taking a page out of Brad's playbook here.
No, he didn't.
I almost did it earlier.
President Business or
Lord Business.
Senator
first.
Business, Lord Business,
Lord
whatever
Business
he calls it.
first.
He calls himself by lots of names, but Will Ferrell in the Lego movie is... I've watched it so many times. It's really good. He's really funny. Immediate, like from this, there's no like, oh, is that Will Ferrell doing his voice? You're like, oh, Will Ferrell's playing Will Ferrell and doing President Business.
And then you get the weird moment at the end where it's got like this kind of like heartfelt kind of tragic little ending with the dad and stuff where Will Ferrell's playing the actual like himself. It's kind of interesting.
Right, exactly.
So I know that movie surprised me. We took our kids to it and I was like, holy shit, this is actually a fun movie.
Funny.
We've watched it a bunch of times. All right, we're gonna go
Get up on that mic.
with my last pick.
There you go.
I am going to take Will Ferrell.
You're taking a Will Ferrell character?
Oh shit!
I don't
God
even
damn
know.
it.
I don't even know his character's name in the movie because I got to look it up. But Will Ferrell in A Deadly Adoption, the Lifetime movie.
That's TV?
No, it's not. It's not. It's a movie. It's
It's TV. It's
Lifetime
television.
movie. If it's a
Lifetime is
made for
television, right?
television movie.
he
I
has the
say
dopest
Lifetime
beard.
movies count.
He has the dopest beard. It's not even on TV. You can't even watch it. I was going to do a streaming recommendation on it, and it's like one of Brad's movies that aren't even
fine.
streaming.
That's fine.
No,
Just
aren't even
leave it.
streaming.
we will allow
We'll
this
allow it.
because
So what
You guys will only
gotta
allow
look
it
up the
because you know
character's
it's going to
name.
lock up my loss.
Look up the character's name for me.
I'm
I
going to
don't
look
know
it
what
up.
you're talking
in
about.
fairness,
What's the movie called?
It's called A Deadly Adoption.
in fairness, I don't think that this was needed to lock up the 4th prize for you, but it definitely doesn't hurt.
The other day, my wife goes, "How'd the draft go?" And I go, "It didn't go great." I said, "I didn't get last." She's like, "But what did you get?" I was like, "3rd." And she's like, Are you even trying?" And like got really critical with me.
Your wife is our biggest fan,
She's super competitive. I like
but
it.
that shouldn't be mistaken for her being your biggest fan.
No, definitely
from the
not.
podcast.
Definitely not.
Actually, she does think you're the funniest, which is correct. But
She got all like serious with me and was like, "You need to win. And
Step
I was
up
like,
your
"Son of a
game,
bitch."
dude.
And then I was like, "All right, I'm
and
picking from
you threw it down.
I was like, I'm picking from a Lifetime movie."
I got the secret sneaker here that's going to do it.
All right, find the character name for me, and then now it's Nick's pick.
His name's Robert Benson
Robert Benson. That's a very Lifetime movie name.
with a beautiful beard.
Oh, jeez.
All right. I'm going Will Ferrell as inmate number, I don't know, as Big Earl.
Oh,
2 dragons. I want 2 dragons
Starsky
next
and
time.
Hutch. Man, that was one of the 2 that I had on my radar. So nice one.
Well, I thought I was going to get Lord Business to wrap up this draft for the win, but let's see. Where am I going to go?
The problem is I know the judge. He has no kids. Probably has never seen that movie.
That's probably true.
You don't
Lego?
know. You don't know.
I think he's
I bet he's seen it. I bet Scotty's seen it.
All right, there's 2 ways I can go here, and I'm not sure which one's going to be the best, but I think I'm going to go ahead and go with a very small bit role for
Please,
Will
do.
Ferrell. In the Austin Powers series, he was Mustafa, and he always had
God.
violent things happen to him, but he was very good-natured about the violence. Like in the second one, I think my legs are broken. I'll try to stand. Yes, they are broken.
He's just yelling through the grate.
Just help. I'm in an awful lot of pain.
Oh, all right. I was hoping this would fall to me. It's a little bit of an under the radar. It's not his best lead role, but it's really funny. And for me, the thing that clinches it, that makes it work, is the name. And this is why I think I messed it up earlier, because I was thinking about this already. Chaz Michaels in Blades of Glory. So there are several people. There's a couple of people that have the last name like that is related, similar to Michael or Michaels, that I often refer to in my head as such and such.
Blank Michael Michaels.
Yeah, I can't not do it. So that's my rap.
I feel like I saw that movie and then legitimately the next day could not remember a thing that happened in it.
John Heater.
John Hader?
John
Napoleon
Heater.
Dynamite.
Napoleon?
Yeah. Not playing Napoleon Dynamite, which unfortunately for him kind of ruins it.
And I think Pam from The Office, right? Isn't
Yeah,
Pam
I think
Beasley
she's
in
in
it?
it,
Yep.
Pam Beasley and the other guy that's
Amy
hilarious.
Poehler.
Amy
The guy, her
Poehler. Will
husband guy.
Arnett.
Yeah, dude, he's so
It's actually
great.
a really funny cast. Craig T. Nelson's in it.
All right. Also rans. Anybody got also rans? I mean, we went through a lot of this top. The one of the top ones that we didn't get to was Cam Brady from The Campaign.
Got Steve Butabi from Night at the Roxbury.
And I know my wife's gonna be upset because she actually enjoyed Eurovision, Lars Erik's song from Eurovision. The
I have not
Sound
seen
of
that
Fire
yet.
Saga.
I really want to see. I keep wanting to see it.
Still,
said it's great.
still in season 1 over here.
And then one for the really deep cut Will Ferrell fans, Damian Weebs from Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie. He's a mall owner. He's trying to sell his mall, and he's just so despondent. And when Tim and Eric come in to visit him, the only thing he can do is watch Top Gun. That's the only thing that makes him feel happy. So they watch the whole Top Gun sitting in his office. And it gets to the end. He goes, yeah, we're going to rewind that. He rewinds it, and it just started again. he's just looking at the TV so happy, and it's Will Ferrell in a very weird role.
I have to ask because I want to be publicly shamed about this, but Tim and Eric, who are these people?
Tim and Eric, they're classic.
Are they like radio
Adult
DJs or
Swim? No, Adult Swim. Very avant-garde.
Is it funny? People talk about it all
It's
the time.
in the
I've
vein
never
of like
listened.
the Eric Andre type stuff, where it's just really strange and weird, and sometimes that's the thing.
It's like the Mr. Bungle of comedy.
Yeah, there
Okay.
you go. That's not a bad. Yeah, no, the movie. If we watched it, I mean, if I chose it for this podcast, about 95% of our listeners would get through maybe 5 minutes and be like, "This is insane. I cannot watch this."
See, that sounds interesting and terrible all at once.
Oh yeah, we should probably do a watch just on our own.
It
sometime.
intrigues me, but I'm like, I'm gonna hate it. I know I'm gonna hate it.
Oh, it's absurd.
So
Through the
At
entire
what point
thing.
in like the chronology of like the movies was that made? Was that before when he was on
The
Jay
Tim and Eric $1
Silent Bob?
billion was this was like
a long time ago.
no. This is like mid 2000s probably.
That's
2012.
a long time ago.
2012
was
was
2012.
okay.
Alright.
2012. Yeah, see, it wasn't that long ago.
No.
That's a long time, bro.
I only had one kid, or no, I guess I had two. Wasn't that long ago.
So I at preschool pick up this guy that you guys all know, Ryan.
Tall guy Ryan.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I've been chatting it up with him while our kids run around the lawn, and so he was like shaming me today that I hadn't seen Casa de Mi Padre.
Yeah, it's all
I haven't
Spanish
seen that
movie.
either.
Supposedly he was like, it's hilarious. You gotta see it. So that's one that I haven't seen. The other one that is a serious one, kind of in the same vein as Stranger Than Fiction, although I think not quite as light and fun, is Nick Halsey and Everything Must Go, which is a little bit. It's just a little.
He sells all his shit in the front
a
yard.
little more of a bummer, but he's good in it. Like, I mean, he's not at all the normal Will Ferrell, but he's good in it.
That movie I never watched, but this is my guess. It's like those couple of Steve Carell movies that came out where he's like depressed.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, we're not comedy anymore. We're gonna do a serious role, but that role makes them be like the opposite of what they're like. Will Ferrell, I heard him on a podcast and he was talking, and when he's not on, he just sounds like Will Ferrell still, but he sounds like he's real depressed.
I don't know, but Steve
It's kinda
Carell
weird.
could be badass in those.
Dude,
in
Steve
those
Carell's
serious
movies.
movies.
amazing.
Great.
I'm not taking
Deserves
anything away
roles.
from him. I'm just saying that I feel like at some point all those movies came out around the same time, and they were like, "Oh, this is the comedy guy."
they're-
Ben Stiller and all these guys. They had all these movies come out. Although I really liked Ben Stiller's one where he has all those daydreams and shit.
Oh, the Secret Life of Walter
Dude,
Mitty.
that
I
one's
really
great.
like that movie.
I have not seen it.
I'm officially on a tangent now, though.
I
So
think I
my
told you about that. It's good.
it's so good. My pick for the best Will Ferrell character is the cowboy guy.
Okay, so if we're going to if we're going outside of movies, man, there's
Well, so the car dealer owner and
Ashley Schaefer, BMW, and Eastbound.
Eastbound and
Down.
down. I mean,
He's
he's
legend.
phenomenal in that. That's definitely
one of my
that would
favorite.
definitely crack the top. The maybe the first round, maybe the first two rounds. If
I mean Sean Connery. Oh no, he's Alex Trebek, right?
He's Alex Trebek, yeah.
So funny.
last couple out there were Phil Weston from Kicking and Screaming, the
Yeah,
one with
that's a good one,
Robert
yeah.
Duvall, and then Dr. Rick Marshall from Land of the Lost. So
And Brad from the one with Marky Mark, where he's
Daddy's Home.
yes,
Yeah, he's pretty good in that too.
got
The
moments.
big brain on Brad.
Never gonna stop saying that. I don't care if it's Brett. All right, don't tell me that shit. It's Brett.
Chet, or Brett.
He
All
said,
right, should we listen to an ad and then get a judge in here?
I say
let's
so.
do it.
we need to judge
Sounds
quick,
about time.
and I need another drink.
There you go.
California has the largest population in the United States and the site of some of the most famous true crime cases in history. But there's more than meets the eye to the crime in California. Join Sean, Jessica, and Charles on the California True Crime Podcast as they cover crime both infamous and overlooked from around our state, while looking at the deeper history that goes beyond beaches and movie stars.
All right, everybody, the time has come. We're gonna find out who won the most memorable Will Ferrell movie character, and to help us do that, we got our very famous returning guest and judge, Scotch Beck. Scotty, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, and I'm pretty sure I'm probably more famous now for being a judge on your guys' pod than anything else I've done. So thank you for that.
Hard disagree on that.
Hard. You got a lot going on. You got an album that just released not too long ago called "The Ballad of Bosco Jenkins." Unbelievable song. I mean, it's jam packed with amazing music, and is it 15? How many songs are on the album?
I think I ended up at 14.
Yeah.
And you play and you do everything on it, right?
Yeah.
You play it. You sing. You play every instrument. You even, I think you did your own makeup and wardrobe for the studio session.
I'm my own masseuse.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You're your own masseuse?
I'm my own masseuse.
You should see what these hands
massages.
can do.
Your own caterer.
His foot massages for himself means something.
He don't be tickling or nothing.
So sensual.
We just can't. We can't get away from Pulp Fiction. We're like 4 episodes away, and we're in Pulp Fiction land. If you haven't heard our Pulp Fiction pod, you can just listen to this one because we say all the same shit.
But also Scott, as a member of Flying Blind, the drummer for Flying Blind, keyboardist also, and a vocalist as well, does a lot of things on Flying Blind, many hats.
Well,
And you guys just got done with a show at a Blaker Brew. No,
Yeah.
Blaker Brew.
Tarmac.
The Tarmac.
Tarmac
Yeah.
in Atwater. And how did it go, man?
that was great, man. They have such an amazing setup out there. If you guys haven't been out to the Tarmac,
So cool.
It's so neat.
No, it was an
I missed out.
Oktoberfest festival,
It was,
right?
Yeah, Blaketoberfest, they call it.
So was there a lot of ladies in the traditional Oktoberfest garb?
Unfortunately not.
Lederhosen?
You know,
No.
I saw one dude in the crowd. And he might be the president of Blaker, so I probably shouldn't.
Atwater, stand up.
So.
I'm going to be honest. If I had lederhosen, I would wear them.
Oh,
I believe
100%.
you.
hell yeah.
I believe you.
Did you guys get drunk and try to go out there and steal some of those old planes?
You know, that looking back, that's what we should have done.
I'll bet some of those still fly.
Yeah, they have an Air Force One out there, you know, and I haven't done that tour since I was a kid. I got to go back out there and check
It's
it out.
pretty cool. We're talking about Castle Air Museum in Atwater, California. There used to be Castle Air Force Base. It's shut down, but there's still a cool air museum there.
They have the plane that broke the sound barrier that looks like the
SR-71 Blackbird.
yes, it looks like the plane from G.I. Joe. So sick.
I think it is. I think that is the plane from G.I. Joe. I don't even think it's from the military.
No, it's from G.I. Joe.
So they have open cockpit day like twice a year, and if
what?
you go, it's really you take the kids.
It's like a bunch of confused swingers showing up. Don't even
so,
these fucking airplanes.
We get to go in the airplanes and
This is the open cock class, right?
where's the sex swing? Do they put it in the? Is it in the bomb part? Anyway, so yeah, I love the tar. Yeah, so Blaker's on tap at my house. Anybody drinking? Did anyone get down to the Blaker tap yet?
I
got
did.
one of their hazy babies.
I must say that it's last week we talked about the thickness and the chewability and viscosity of the Blaker keg.
it was riled up.
All of those things.
It is now a very smooth, very delicious hazy after sitting for a week. So
It needs to season a bit.
yeah, you need to just let it simmer, let it just fucking percolate.
I feel like Blaker, we're gonna hold all these places that we drink their alcohol. We're gonna start holding them hostage when we get really popular and be like, we're quitting if you don't sponsor.
I'm
us.
not drinking your beer.
I'm not gonna drink your beer.
Negotiations start now.
Okay, so this is the perfect time for me to drop my idea. Can you guys just manifest this? Everybody just close their eyes and just picture the bottle. It's going to be, or maybe a can, you don't know. It's going to be very colorful. It's going to
I'm
say
legitimately closing my eyes.
We all
BVK.
are.
BVK, Best Video Kingdom, IPA. right?
Ooh, it
BVK
rhymes.
IPA.
It rhymes, Zach.
Eminem could probably use it in a song. I don't hold the rights to that. Marshall, you can use that if you'd like.
BVK.
I just want to manifest that out into the universe because I just picture myself with just like a keg of it all warm in my garage that doesn't have a kegerator.
I think we should put it out there right now that any brewery that makes BVK IPA, they will get 1 year of free advertising on Best Video Kingdom.
And after that 1 year, they will get another 10 years free.
Hey,
just putting it out.
that
like a
sounds
signing
like
bonus.
that sounds like yeah. I mean, if you're an investor, you might want to think about it right now.
good
Be like,
decision.
hey,
That's 11 years free advertising on Best Video Kingdom.
hey, Scott, how you doing? Scott's here.
Loving it. It's great. I love to see, the behind the scenes, the how you guys are just kind of.
No, this isn't behind the scenes. This is the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit, we're rolling.
We've been recording the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, this is exactly
This
the
is
kind
what-
of shit
wow.
our
This is what
listeners
Anchor
get
is paying us
subjected to.
quarter of a cent per 46 listens to put out there.
This is the scene. All right. Are we ready?
Yeah, I've been ready.
I know Scott's ready.
Although I feel like it's almost like I know what's going to happen, so it's
I know one
Do I
thing
even
that's going
need
to
to
happen.
hear
That's
it?
beautiful. I'm going to be a 3-time in a row, so that'll be 5 wins. That means I'll be 2 ahead of everybody. That's beautiful. I like
All
the
right,
idea of
let's
that.
get to this. Scott, what?
If Brad wins, I'm going to stab
I
myself in
don't
the
like
face.
the sound of Brad winning.
So, you guys called in the righty. I've pitched 2 games in a row. It's my 3rd game in a row. I'm definitely feeling a little bit, I'm a little tired, but I'm going to put up my best effort, and I'm gonna do my best for you guys. When you told me the category, I was excited, and then I got nervous because there's a lot of. I love Will Ferrell, and he's another one of those kind of polarizing, kind of like Tarantino. You either love him or hate him. There's so many people that I know that don't like Will Ferrell.
Really?
Which just
Really?
blows my mind. I don't really hang out with those people, but I know them. But so it's interesting. I love him. He makes me laugh. He's one of those kind of kryptonite type people. You see him, you just start cracking up instantly. But there's certain movies that I'm just like, I don't know why. I just don't really want to see them. They just didn't interest me at the time. So I had to do a lot of digging on this one. I had to do some research, which you guys know I'm not going to come into this blind anymore. I did do a lot of YouTubing, and I have some a couple new categories here that I think is going to get a nice balance to my scoring system.
So to be clear, you said you did your own research. So you're not like one of these guys that's doing his own research on the coronavirus vaccine, right? You actually opened up a page that wasn't Facebook and tried to do a little bit of research.
Right. When I do research of any kind, and I don't want to get too political here, but if, like, say the vaccine, for example, I find multiple points of, articles, things that I research a lot of it, and then I make an opinion on it.
I like that. I like that.
I'm very thorough, and I don't just go to Facebook and read a headline.
Me personally, I just go on Facebook.
That sounds
and just,
stupid and time consuming to me personally, but I'm just.
I find my closest uncle that's on Facebook, and I just go call him and like, hey man, what's really going on in the world today?
We had a lot of.
He's like, did you know Hillary Clinton's going to jail? Just read that shit online.
Okay, that being said, we have of course, the Scotch Beck "Oh Yeah" factor.
Oh yeah.
There it is. That's a sound drop, but live sound drop. I like that.
Oh shit!
So that's
Right. I was supposed to put that on a sound drop, and I forgot.
Fine,
we did talk about it.
I haven't even edited that part yet, so that's all right.
So then we got. So that's my just overall. Does it make sense? The minute I see it, hell yeah, that's a great pick. I know the movie. So obviously, if I don't know the movie, that definitely hurts the score there. But then you can make some points up with a category I'm calling, "Hey everybody, come see how good I look." Kind of topical for the pod.
There we go.
So that's kind of an overall, like, I checked out a clip on YouTube, or I remember a scene from the movie, and it did it make me laugh? Was it just a flat out guffaw? Was it a chortle? Was it a snicker? I don't know. So those are kind of.
Did you laugh on the
Chortle.
inside?
I like
Right. And then, of course, there's a couple of serious choices on here.
Chortle.
Some of his more dramatic work on here. So, I just because I didn't laugh at it because I'm not supposed to, I did give some points on that just based on, respect for the acting on that.
Did a single tear fall down your cheek?
No tears today. I have no soul. I don't know what that means. So a new category, Rotten Tomatoes.
Hey, Zach, does he have a Band-Aid on the back of his neck?
Someone took his soul. Oh my God. He does have a very short haircut.
More Pulp Fiction references. We're never going to let this. Wow. We just changed the name of the podcast to Pulp Fiction Redo. All right.
Can I just throw it back to an even earlier podcast and say that Scott is looking very skinhead today, and we are anti-skinhead here on BVK?
It's back.
We declared that a
What
couple
podcast
episodes
was
ago.
about skinheads?
Well, we got pretty steep on
was
some
almost-
It was almost
anti-racism.
famous because this guy had the Ain't Rights,
That's right.
and they played at a skinhead club and cussed out
You
the
guys,
audience.
that's
I just want to say
that's a deep Easter egg. That's like a reference that goes back far enough that I have no memory of it.
You have no memory of most of our podcasts.
It was a week and a half ago, and I know you've never listened,
I
but
don't
there's some gems in there.
All right. So
I digress.
Category again.
Okay, the category again, it was Rotten Tomatoes with a question mark. So I went to Rotten Tomatoes, and I didn't get the critic score because who gives a shit about the critics? I got the audience score.
There you go.
And based on whatever they got for the movie, so if they got like 70%, they got a 7.
Ooh.
80% an 8, so on and
New
so forth.
wrinkle. I like it.
I love it when Scott makes up new categories every week. That's one of my favorite parts.
New categories.
I
UDA.
kind of hear some nervous laughter.
I'm
I think
nervous,
somebody picked a movie that they think probably sucks.
Well, all Will Ferrell movies are kind of like not guaranteed
I was actually
audience
surprised.
score like great.
That is very true. There was a couple I was surprised with how shitty
Some of
the
those
audience
weren't
score
great,
was.
but his characters have moments.
Right.
But I thought Rotten Tomatoes was like the score is based on you go into it with a certain thought, and if it meets that thought, then you give it a good score. Is that not how Rotten Tomatoes works?
That's actually just a deep analysis of the human
That's how
psyche.
Zach works. That's how Zach
It's
works.
the internet. Somebody says 10
That's how Zach works.
button
Is that
go.
really how it works? I thought there was much more to it.
I don't think so.
I have no idea. I thought it was a good idea at the
It
time.
was a great idea.
I like it.
Anyway, and then of course there's Scotchler's List, which is the top 5 on my list. Will get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 points based on what I picked.
Beautiful.
Love it.
So, first round, amazing picks across the board.
Are they though?
Every single one.
They were all good. I mean, there was definitely some in the later rounds that I was surprised went into the later rounds. But I mean, I'm cool with all of them. I mean, of course, Ron Burgundy, hands down pick of the. I mean, but again, it's the movie you're talking about. So, but
Lame.
this one you just can't go wrong with it. And a little quick thing about Ron Burgundy and Will Ferrell. His commitment to characters. I don't know if anybody ever saw if you guys watch the Dan Patrick Show. So they do an on air of their radio show. Well, Will Ferrell showed up as Ron Burgundy in character and stayed on the show for 3 hours and never broke character one time. And that shit to me is just hilarious. When he showed up, they were waiting for him. They weren't sure where he was, and they looked out the window and he's standing on the street corner holding a box of donuts and like a bottle of whiskey or something, and just standing out there in the middle of it, just like anyway, like he said, he kills me. And another great story real quick about Will Ferrell and staying in character. I listened to an audiobook by Jim Brewer, and apparently Will Ferrell would just get into a character for like a week and just stay on it in the whole time at Saturday Night Live, and he would start irritating people because he would never break character. Well, one time they just got tired of it, and a bunch of them stormed into his writer's room, and just jumped on him and started like punching him and like dry humping him and like doing all this stuff. And the whole time he's like, "Oh, the humanity," and like stayed in character and never broke the whole time. So that's the kind of humor I like. That's the kind of thing that I get into, and that's why I think he's brilliant.
Aggressive humping.
Aggressive, yeah.
That's a code red.
It's
That's
always
what
funny.
that is.
That's code red.
So
Code red.
Buddy the Elf is a great pick, even though I'm one of the few people that don't really think Elf's that great of a movie.
It's not really. It's really not a good.
That was talked about. There was
some
some
discussion
folks that
Okay.
aren't the
Of
biggest
whether or
Elf
not,
fans.
and yeah,
The folks that don't like it are 9.
But I just constantly hear it being mentioned as one of the best holiday movies and whatever. So I did give it the points it deserves for being a great pick. So
Which was last paid's points for the first round?
which was it wasn't the worst points in the first round.
Who got the worst points? I'm curious.
Unfortunately, it was Jackie Moon, but it was all close. I love Jackie Moon because that song is amazing.
The audience is surprised by this analysis.
So, and Frank the Tank is like just iconic. Just once it hits the lips, it's so good.
But first round?
Yes.
Yes,
Everyone agrees.
100%.
I think so.
Audience agrees.
I say yes.
I mean, there's an argument there. It can definitely first or second. To me, it has to be in the first or second round for sure. I don't think it's a reach, but I could definitely see an argument for any of these other picks in the next round for sure.
Right. Jackie Moon is a third round, right? Like that's what we're really talking about here. It's a late third round. Got it.
Kick it while he's down.
Stay down there. Stay down.
I don't know whose
Stay
team
down.
that is, but he seems really handsome.
Yeah. Okay, so going into the second round, starting with pick 4, Mugatu from Zoolander. Amazing. I haven't seen Zoolander in so long. And so I actually did a refresh YouTube search, and God damn it, I laughed.
That shit holds up.
It
dude.
holds up. So I love that pick. Brennan Huff, Step Brothers, that movie's so good, which is weird because I actually didn't like that movie at all when I first watched it. Kept watching it, and it got better and better, and now I love that movie. I don't know why I didn't like it the first time. I must have been just...
So I think I'm kind of like I've probably only seen it once, and I was kind of but I probably need to watch it 7 more.
You
times.
do.
Will Ferrell and then John C. Riley is
John C. Reilly, is
fucking
one of my
amazing.
favorite actors ever. So, if you've seen it once and didn't really like it, give it another shot or two. Talladega Nights is one that that movie's not my favorite. Great character, but that was the low score in this round for me. Chaz from Wedding Crashers is hilarious. Mom, Meatloaf is an amazing quote, and I love that.
He said it earlier. He's like, "What is she doing back there?"
I don't know what she does. What do you do all day?
Okay, so round 3 is a very interesting round because when I looked at this list, I'm like, okay, who, what? Huh? I knew one of them, and so I saw the other guys. That was pretty good. Not a most memorable movie for me. It was fine. Harold Crick, Stranger Than the Fiction. I have not seen the movie. I've seen parts, and I think he does an amazing job in it in the scenes that I have seen. So I did give that some good points. I watched a clip from Jay and Silent Bob, because I haven't seen that movie,
Called it.
and
I said, "No way Scott's seen that movie."
I think somebody picked somebody from that movie before, and I didn't like that clip. And maybe I picked a bad clip, but it was kind of funny. He had a couple of funny lines.
Was it the
Rules
monkey
are
in the
rules.
diner?
Monkey in the Diner.
That was the only time he was in
Yeah.
the movie, but
Right. And then now I don't think Teams 4 is Brad, but this pick is definitely Brad, which is a Lego movie.
Brad's so fucking predictable.
And I mean, clip was okay. It's all right. It's a Lego movie. Whatever.
Hey, there's some real emotional stuff at the end that you're missing. There's no context.
Hey.
Brad made a good pick there.
I bet he did. Okay, so moving on to the last round. Wait, do I go backwards or forwards? Who gives it?
4-1.
4-1. That's right. Okay.
Do I need to go through the way snake draft work again?
I've never heard.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm running on fumes here, man.
You're great. You're great. It's all great.
All right.
Proceed.
All right. So Robert Benson, Deadly Adoption. I've never heard of that movie in my life.
No,
That's weird.
get out of here.
I checked.
I don't understand how you can.
I looked
never
it
heard of
up.
that.
Could you have watched that in the theater?
Or would you have had to
What
have the
theater?
Lifetime network on your basic cable?
A home theater.
During COVID, all of our homes turned into theaters. So thank you very much, Brad, Frank.
Okay.
Brad.
So I watched the trailer. I watched the trailer, and it kind of looks like The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, but maybe funny-ish.
There's no comedy in that.
No,
entire
they played it straight.
Is it straight?
funny?
Kristen Wiig also.
Kristen
They
Wiig,
signed
Will
up for a
Ferrell.
Lifetime movie
It's a
and did it.
Lifetime movie.
It's a Lifetime movie.
They do it
100%
completely straight.
On the
Straight.
Lifetime network.
It's
which is
Not
So
good,
how is this
but it's
even
also
allowed?
great, which also is categorized.
we
as
allow-
television.
we
They
have
knew I was
discussion.
already in last place, so they were like,
Discussion lasted
fuck it,
an hour.
let Zach
We let
shoot
it
himself
ride.
in the face.
Everyone believed that this pick would be fitting to the placement of the team.
It's perfect. Okay, Big Earl is an amazing character from Starsky and Hutch. That clip, and I watched that clip again because it was just so fun. I remembered that one.
Two dragons.
So funny. Mustafa from Austin Powers is just a classic character. And then Chaz from Blades of, I've never seen Blades of Glory, which I know is kind of, people look at me like,
It's
"You haven't
okay.
seen-"
You're okay.
Is it okay?
It's gonna be fine.
I've been chastised.
No judgments here.
But I watched the clip and god damn it, I laughed a lot. That scored big
It's
points.
a sneaky, funny movie.
The YouTube assist came through.
It came through big time on this one. Yeah. And so, I was talking about the Rotten Tomatoes. That didn't, I thought maybe that would help the Deadly Adoption because I thought maybe it was like a, critical success or something. No, it didn't help.
It was not.
It got a 2, like 20%.
Who picked that shit?
So looking at the final tally here, we're going to start with 4, who will now be known as the whale's vagina.
San Diego.
And I think we all know who it is. Team 4.
I love the clip at the end of the movie during the credits where he's trying to say that it was named after a whale's vagina and he can't even say it.
He's like,
This is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can't wait till Lise just takes you to task for this list.
She's gonna yell at me for sure.
She's gonna not be mad. She's just gonna be really disappointed.
That's exactly.
I'm not mad.
I'm not
at you.
mad.
I'm just disappointed.
So whale's vagina, meet the gimp. Gimp, meet the whale's vagina. There you go.
It's all right. We know Nick's team is in third place.
So with the score was a 95, with the score of 107. Team 2.
I'm 100% disappointed in the federal wildlife marshal Will and Hawley.
Oh, really?
If you watch that movie, he's in it for about the entire second half, and he's outstanding the entire time.
I figured
enough.
you were going to complain about the Talladega Nights. Meh.
No, you know what? My brother shares the same. I said that earlier. Maybe it's a drummer thing. That
Drummers just
Your
hate
brother-
Talladega. You know something about Talladega. They just the rhythm isn't right.
I think huge NASCAR guys are just like personally attacked by that movie.
but Scott's not a huge NASCAR guy.
I'm not a NASCAR guy at all.
He just has good taste in movies.
I mean, Ricky Bobby is about as quotable as you can get.
He is. Ricky Bobby got a good score.
Except for all the other Will Ferrell characters. I mean,
All right, whatever.
It got a good score. Unfortunately, in that round, there's just better picks.
I want
juggernaut.
to build some tension here. Let's
I'm rooting for Nick. I'll tell you that much.
Let's pause for a second. We've got Nick's team and Nate's team left. I just want to ask Scott a question really quick.
Yeah.
Did you find that this draft was shallower than you thought it was going to be? Or did you feel like there was a bunch left on the table that you were like, oh, I can't believe somebody didn't pick this?
Every single one of the ones that I picked were selected. So I didn't do a ton of deep picks on this. So it was, to me, I was actually kind of surprised that there was 4 rounds worth. But then I looked at
That's
the list.
what I mean.
But he's done so much, but of actual memorable, amazing characters.
And movies too. And movies.
And I think I had that reaction when I was prepping too. Is like you think of Will Ferrell as like sort of iconic and spanning a really long period
Super
of time.
prolific, yeah.
And he is in some ways, but I think what it is that the memorable characters are such home runs.
Right.
But there aren't nearly as many as you feel like there are.
But you look up his IMDb, it's a laundry list.
It's long.
But when I went to
and-
like go through specific characters and pick them, there wasn't as many as I thought when we first picked the draft category. I was like,
there's
there's
gonna be
yeah, exactly
50 on
There
my
wasn't that
list.
Well, it's like the character from Night at the Roxbury. It's like, really, it's like
Yeah.
whatever. That character's pretty much a Saturday Night Live character, which
Yeah.
those movies are never really that good. The Superstar, wasn't he the nun in that one or something?
Yeah.
So there was definitely some that I thought that might be on here, but
Scott, I've got one more follow-up question before you get to the final here. You talked about Chaz, very memorable character.
Correct.
How would you feel about somebody when they're getting ready to pick Chaz as the character and they call them Chet?
Yeah. How would you score that?
He said his last name was Michaela too.
You guys are just anticipating.
he called him Chet.
Chet Michelle. He said Chet Michelle Michaela, and we were
he
like,
drafted
bro,
Chet,
what?
and we're like, he's not named Chet in any movies.
So this is the Chaz in Blades of Glory, not Chaz from.
this
The
is
Wedding Crashers.
Chaz from Wedding
Oh,
Crashers.
okay. Because the Blades of Glory has like 4 names or something. I thought
that's
I thought we were
insignificant.
talking about the Blades of Glory.
Okay, that's
guy,
what
too.
confused
That's
me.
my bad.
No. Chaz from Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
I mean, your scoring's locked in, so I can't
It
affect
is.
things now. But I just want you to know in case it turns out the way it does.
Right.
Brad's trying to sink Nate's ship because he knows that if he gets it, he'll be tied with him for wins.
He's
I'm
just
pretty
jealous.
Oh, I'm just shitting as hard as I can on this whole boat.
So the
sure.
final
Captain Stern.
Keep shitting.
So the final scores is 124 to 122.
Ooh, tight. Tight.
And
Tight
honestly,
butthole.
unfortunately, my new category of Rotten Tomatoes might have been the difference.
Ooh.
And I'm looking real quick. Yeah, that was. Yep. So I'm gonna say, Nick was team 3, you were team 1.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Lord.
Team 1.
Back on top where I belong.
I mean, you would probably subtract 5 points if you could nowadays.
I'd like to start by thanking Will Ferrell, and
Yeah.
I'd like to thank him in his many roles, including that of Chet and Chaz, both.
You know how people are like,
I'd like to thank Scotch Beck for having impeccable taste and categories on top of categories.
there's people turning off the podcast right now because all they want is parody.
I'd like to thank
They're like, this fucking Brad and Nate winning shit is bullshit.
I want to thank my wife, who I couldn't have done this without. I don't even know what to
You're
do with
blaming
you
your
guys
wife for
anymore.
Chet? Yeah. Okay, got it.
The funny thing is, your wife will never hear this because I don't think she's ever
My wife
listened
is
to
not listening to any of it. Today she was like, I listened to the intro episode, 20 minutes long, predictable. And I was like, oh, what'd you think? She's like, she's like, well, it was more like about you guys relative to the pod than like more. She like wanted personal histories. And I was like,
You haven't listened to it.
okay, so you didn't even listen to it.
She wanted to know when we lost our virginity and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, she knows that. She about you, I mean.
I mean, 25 is not a bad year, right?
The 25-year-old.
Scott, did you listen to the Gator scene from other guys? Did you reference that section?
No.
How many
Obviously you didn't.
points?
Last place.
See, yeah, I did not reference that particular scene.
Hang on.
Because I've seen the movie. I remember
Nick's
it.
ready
Oh
to-
my God, you
Nick's
guys,
about
I'm-
to file a protest.
No. I'm having a fucking genius moment. Are we still recording? Because we need to get this on tape.
Oh, we
We are.
100%.
This is gold, buddy.
Scott loves helping us out and has so much free time. Why don't we just pick specific clips that he has? So if you're like, Scott, you probably haven't seen this movie, you got to watch the Gator clip on YouTube of the certain one so that we can ensure that he gets the rich,
But we don't know who we're going to be able to pick.
Is this just the part where you guys are doing everything you can to figure out how to not have me win every week?
Now, I will say, and I understand what you're doing here, Nick. I understand it. But,
Stewing in your own
in my
defeat.
defense, Alan Gamble from the other guys won round 3.
What?
On my scoring system.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
it didn't matter.
So it doesn't matter. The rest of your team
Protest.
was
Now-
fucking shit.
Protest denied.
Now maybe
The first protest.
Nate wins
Submitted
whenever.
and
Nate, how does
immediately
Nate
denied.
win whenever he has like 2 or 3 of his movies that Scott hasn't seen, and somehow
and he
Nate wins?
He wins.
Because I have
Every
amazing
time.
taste.
We're
Because
forgetting-
the stuff I have is fundamentally good, and anything you look at about it on YouTube is fundamentally good.
We're forgetting a main thing about Nate's picks is that he is the pander.
Oh my God, I don't-
And he had the panda
Master.
rap again. as usual.
Exactly.
Panda,
Panda
rap.
rap. And you know what? The thing about Nate is that he's the biggest flying blind fanboy ever. I think he is
Sometimes
secretly communing with maybe some other band members.
sometimes-
It's like, do you think Scott likes this?
We're gonna open up the draft with Panda Watch. With Brian Fantana. That's gonna
Oh my
be
God, it's topically topical.
what the panda's name?
Sometimes I tell my kids, when
Ling-
people say
Ling-
something,
That's a real one, I think.
when people say mean things to you, it's just because they're hurting on the inside, and I feel bad.
It's
for
mostly,
you guys.
it's mostly the
accurate.
insides of their buttholes
I
because they feel
feel-
like they're getting raped in the fucking draft.
Oh, just went raw with it, but I feel bad for you guys. I do.
See now-
I'm sorry for your pain.
You're not wrong.
I'm also wondering, is there some accusation here of the judge not being.
That's what I'm
On the
hearing.
up and up.
Absolutely
saying-
not.
That's what
Absolutely
I'm
not.
hearing.
I'm saying
Absolutely
Nate
not.
is doing research into
that's
you
what
as a
I'm saying.
person
Yeah.
so
Oh,
that
so
he
I'm a
knows what
stalker.
you will
I'm
like.
stalking
That's what
Scotch
I'm
Beck.
saying. Yes, that's exactly
So
what I'm
Scott,
saying.
just check your mailbox and your underwear drawer for holes.
I have no idea. I have no idea whether or not he peed between 1 and 105 last night.
I've seen Enemy of the State. I know what kind of stuff they can do.
Oh well.
Thank you, Scott.
So should we? Do we?
God damn it, you're
Why do
great
we
at
not
what you
have
do.
like a leaderboard up on the Bev's like web page or the Facebook page? Because I mean, even though it's going to be obvious to everyone who's in the lead, like the second and third place stuff is going to be interesting.
Oh yeah, we're gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
We will make sure.
What place you guys think I'll be in with one half of a win?
Oh, he's calling it one half.
You
Just
have a-
call
you
it
have
At
a
least
full
he
W.
acknowledges that it's a
You
half
have a
win.
full
win.
W.
Is it better to say that I'm 1-7, or is it better to say that I am 7-1? I guess 1-7 sounds a little better.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want
The
that
second
zero
one
out front,
sounds
Zach. I think
bad.
that's the.
When you start with the O, people are like, "Oh fuck."
Oh, you lost me at
You lost me at
What I like about the 07 and 1 is that you get a little sympathy. People are like, "Oh, but you're trying really hard. I can tell that you're really putting in a lot of effort. Maybe you should."
You have a W, man.
I know that's not
Accept
what Lisa
it.
says
We don't
to
give
do.
participation trophies out at Bev's. Sorry.
and it came in the right movie and the right person. Chuck gave you a W for Zodiac and for serial killers.
And I gave an unofficial. I agreed with that decision, and I was scoring at home. And,
I love
and
that
so-
Scott scores at home.
So
Of course I do.
He's
No,
just
no,
like,
no,
oh,
no.
okay.
I'm not just a judge. I'm a fan.
He's a fan.
All I'm hearing right now is that it equals 2 wins because Scott picked me too.
Give an inch, he takes a mile.
Yes.
All right. Well,
All right.
that was I'm happy. I'm feeling good. Personally.
Thanks, Scott. You're the best.
Sorry, guys.
We do love you, 100%.
Love you, Scott.
Rough.
We will rub your hairy back whenever you want.
Hey, can I say one more thing really quick before we go away?
No.
Scott Beck showed up here in the middle of the night, sat down with no drink in his hand and an iPad with a bunch of research on it after saying he had a really shitty day. We just want to say we appreciate
We
you,
do.
Scott.
Hell
appreciate
yeah.
you, Scott.
Thank you so much, Scott.
My pleasure, guys. I absolutely look forward to this all the time, man. So thank you.
All right, good stuff. All right, so Zach, you're picking the next movie. We want to know, we have to know what's up next on the dock.
Today is just the beginning of October, one of my favorite months. We've got lots of scary movies out there. Oh, I love all this stuff. I'm going to make Nate
Piss his
quiver in his
pants?
boots. He might piss his pants.
Are we gonna watch like a kind of a darker romantic comedy, or
It's going to be super dark. The guy might not even get the girl at the end.
Is it Bone Tomahawk?
I can't watch that.
What's going to happen is at the end of the rom-com, she's going to accept his love and then confess that she's only into pegging.
Oh, so we're watching Cannibal Holocaust, right?
It's going to be aggressive. Nope. We're going with one of the scariest movies that I personally have ever seen. And we are going to go.
Korean.
Nope. Nope.
Fuck, sorry.
We're going to go with somebody that may be on Cameo, might be dead.
What?
Ernest Scared.
No,
Stupid.
get the shit
One
outta
of the
here.
greatest Halloween movies of all time.
I will say I've seen a lot of Ernest movies, maybe all.
And you
of them,
haven't seen it?
but I have not seen this one.
I really want to take a poll real quick.
That's on
Just
par with Shawshank.
Who has seen it?
Jim Varney.
Who's seen Ernest
Dead-
Scared?
I've seen it.
dead or alive?
Ooh, Jim Varney, Darryl.
Jim Varney, dead or alive?
I say dead.
I don't know. Let's save it for the pod. I don't want to know.
I mean, spoiler alert, but I know he's dead, unfortunately.
He died quite a while ago. I love Jim Varney. I'm a huge Jim Varney fan, so I'm stoked about this. Super pumped.
Is freaking awesome. And he's also the bad guy from Problem Child. If you guys remember Problem Child.
I sure do.
Another great movie.
John Ritter, also
Oh, dude.
deceased, unfortunately.
So lots of dead guys. Lots
Not
of
on Cameo.
So next week we're going to fire up the Ouija board. We're going to get on Cameo. We're going to talk to all these guys. And you know what? It's going to be spooky. It's going to be fun. Okay, so full disclosure, 1991, this movie came out. I'm in 4th grade. I saw it went to Bev's Video Kingdom. I rented the video, took it home. I literally referenced this earlier in one of the pods. Like Ernest Scared Stu was one of my rentals. Took it home. I watched it. This movie is way scarier than it has any business being for 1991 and for little
Pitched
kids.
at fourth graders.
When you guys watch it, and I'm telling you, everybody here has like younger children, 14 and under, and we're going to have all of these kids. Everybody, go get your kids, watch this movie, and tell me if they don't get a little bit scared, because it's freaking scary.
Good
It's
sell.
really good.
Yeah, take your kids, watch this movie, and then don't sleep for a week because you're trying to deal with scared kids
Yeah, well, you know
That's
what?
just Nate. We're not talking. And the kids are a whole different
or
story.
scared Nates.
sounds like a parenting issue.
I'm gonna
to
have
me,
to see.
Nate.
I'm gonna have to have Charlie like let me sleep in her bed for the next week. I'm gonna be scared.
Definitely what's going to happen. What season
yeah.
2, Charlie?
Can I ask a more important question?
Very
I
important.
love that.
What draft category am I going to win on the next episode?
Okay, so
So
this
cocky always.
Every time I say, Nick like stretches his neck like he's trying not to come across the table.
so
The table will be flipped at some point.
at the time we do
Jim
this
Everett
draft,
going
it,
after Jim Rome.
it will have been a long month since my last win. My last 2 wins, actually. Scott said
Fortnite.
I got a second win. And it's been at least 7 years ago since my last win. And you know what? I think I'm going to take this one down because we're going to go best movie monsters. Most
like
memorable movie monsters, best movie monsters. Brad's always trying to pick TV monsters. Brad, get out of here with your fucking TV monsters.
I think I've got a bunch of monsters chalked up, and we better have a good judge.
Brad's
knows
first
their
one
shit.
of one monster from
We
the
have-
fucking Muppets.
7 texts of Zach asking about TV.
There's legitimately a Muppet called Monster.
I know. That's Brad's one of one.
What are the odds that Brad has anything but a Pixar monster and a Muppet monster on his list next week?
Ugh, you guys,
Yeah.
I'd say
FanDuel's, they're calculating right now. They're like, oh my god, he's got at least 3 Pixar creatures he can choose.
between that exciting draft, you know, there was ASMR moments earlier. There's all sorts of stuff. Everybody's dick's real hard, but let's everybody just calm down.
It's the pleats.
We need
the pleats.
please. It makes it look that way. I forgot where I was going with that.
I'm sorry.
I think you're going to tell people to, join us on the socials and give us some
Hey.
solid reviews.
Tell your friends. Pick a friend and be like, hey, friend.
And
should
most likely that friend's going to ignore your recommendation, but do it anyways.
Well, yeah, remind
And
the
then
friend
bug
that
'em.
you told from last week. We told you to tell a friend last week. Go ahead and just remind them and say, hey, did you check out the pod? And if they said yeah, then say, hey, friend, go tell another friend. Listen to the pod.
Tiny check mark on iTunes, super hard to find. Top right hand corner, it looks like a little check mark. It looks super unassuming. Just click that little check mark.
And when they say, don't call me friend, guy, you go ahead and just say, guy. Click like and subscribe. All right. Thank you, guys. This is awesome. Scott, thanks so much.
Good choice.
for having
Good
me, Scott.
judge.
Great choice, Zach. You guys, everyone have a good night out there.
Peace, guys. You know what I mean, Burn?
ScotchBeck.com.
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 Scotch Beck. Know what I mean, Burn?
I wanna be at Beverly's, bringing me home with my movies. Just a blind ride, no reason why. I love this scene. Nick Nate, I can brag your favorite podcast. Let's start this